Good evening, everyone. Welcome. This is Table Talk Thursdays, and I am Elyse Ann Psychic, the Psychic Liaison, Bridge the Unseen. Give me a moment. I need to whew, pull this up on my tablet. I got something stuck to my finger, and it doesn't want to come off. There we go. So I can follow comments. There we go. Got a little distracted there. So I'm going to say hello and let me pull it up here. Give me a second. There it is. All right. So here we go. Welcome. Let me know you're here. Say hi. And I'm glad you're joining me this evening. Nobody's saying hi quite yet. Are you being shy tonight, everyone? There we go. Hi, Sandy. I'm doing well. Thank you. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Susan. Wow. Hello, Mario. Hello. Let's see who else. Again, I feel like I'm romper room as people show up and say hello. And if you don't want to say hello, that's okay. Some people just want to jump on and listen. And that's fine. I have no problem with that at all. Hi, Kelly. Welcome. How are you? It is your first time for Table Talk Thursdays. Yes, I know. I think you were on my live yesterday, though, where I did the psychic mini readings. I'm pretty sure I remember your name. So I'm so glad you're joining us this evening. And hi, Christy. How are you tonight? Well, let's go ahead and get started. This is Table Talk Thursdays. If you're new here, what this is an interactive forum where we pick a topic every week and we have a discussion about it. Interactive, of course. I don't just sit here and talk at you. We share. Yes, Kelly, you were with me yesterday. That's what I thought. Okay, good. I'm glad you're joining us this evening. So, we pick a different topic every week, and this week is don't let yesterday take up too much of today. And I found that to be very, very interesting. Hello, Czar. Hello, Cassandra and Maria. I'm going to try not to look down too much. I look down because that's where my comments are. Like I said, my Table Talk Thursdays are done without a moderator. So I'm watching it all. It's all me. Tony does share it, and I do ask that all of you share it on your timeline, share it to groups. The more the merrier. I learn from this. We learn from each other. It's a great time. So hi, Courtney. Hello, hello. So let's talk about that for a minute. Okay, so we're talking about don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Excuse me. I have to admit, I'm just winging it completely tonight. Usually I sit for a little bit and just kind of let it gel in, and I'm like, okay, we're just gonna wing it tonight. So here we go. So as human beings, we tend to mull things over. It's all about what happened yesterday. How much time of our day, our present day? Hello, Amy, welcome. How much of our present day are we going to take up thinking about what happened yesterday? Now, mind you, of course. Hi, Mystica, welcome. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. Um, you know, look, we're all human. We have these experiences. We do need to process these things, right? But so many of us gets obsessive. And I understand it because I used to be that way. I used to be just so obsessive. And I go over things and over things and over things. And let's keep going. I mean, we could go ad nauseum with that. I tend to be analytical. Some of us who are analytical will be in that space. And I've had people say, how can you be so psychic? You're so analytical. Somehow it works. I don't know. They come together somehow. So, do any of you find yourself kind of mulling things over and over and over, and you can't seem to let go? And hi, Corey. Welcome. So glad you're joining us this evening. So, let me know because this is interactive. Again, I want you guys to bounce it off with me. And so um what well, let's just say, what good does it do to go over it and over it and over it and over it? And I know we all have these worries and concerns and trying to figure things out. There are the logistics of it or the logical pieces that we need to go through and figure life out and how we're going to do this and how we're going to do that, right? But how much space and time are we going to take from today and keep mulling over things that happened in the past. Now, I know from experience, I I am the type of person that just could not let anything go. Years, sometimes years. So I spent a lot of time, what's supposed to be my present. Yeah, Kelly says yes, and that's what my card yesterday was about. Really? Oh, how cool. And oh, thank you for reminding us. Hello, Ashton. Is anybody else struggling? Yes, we are. I know I am, but anyhow, I'll get to that in a minute. Kelly, and nothing personal, as a psychic, I don't retain readings. I don't because I'm in an altered state. Most psychics don't, because we're in such an altered state that as soon as that's over, um, boom, gone. So let me see. Anyone else struggling? Okay, Ashton. Well, if you mean in general, I want to say yes. I think there's some things going on right now. I can tell also from Facebook, things are a little quieter. So I think people are kind of, under the radar a little bit. I think also it goes along with this topic tonight. I think a lot of us are being faced with things. Okay, and some of it is the past. Oh no, honey, you're not alone. Oh no, 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 no. Been an interesting energy this week, I've noticed. Very quiet. Actually, hi Samantha, welcome. Actually, I it was quieter than normal yesterday on my live. It was great, still plenty of people, but it was a little quieter. And so I want to say some of that I think is the energy. Facebook in general has felt a little quieter to me, and I can usually tell that it means there's something going on in the energy. I don't necessarily analyze all of it. There we go. There's the analyzing word. Woo! Hi Natalie. Good evening. Awakening. My awakening is killing me, I swear. Well, you're not the only one. You're not the only one. Here, let me see. Mystica says, yes, my mom passed and my aunt holding her ashes and can't move on. Already paid, but she gave me fake flowers instead and taking over my life. Almost 3 years now. Okay, so it's court. Okay, yes, Mystica, there are things that are holding us back. Great comment here because I want to kind of segue off of that and use it as a launching pad here. But let me I'm going to try tonight to keep up with the comments a little bit more, and I have some ideas. Not sure yet. I might try a different kind of formatting going forward. I'm looking at a few things, but I'm not sure if it can happen the way I think it can. So I'm not going to say much about it right now. I'll leave you all in suspense. Um, but there's a possibility I might be able to do this a little bit more interactively. We'll see. I'm kind of excited. I'm hoping it'll work. I'm hoping it'll work. Okay, so lots of shadow work being done and massive downloads. Oh, Corey, speak the truth. Speak the truth. Hello, Crystal. Hello. Crystal Morissette. Thank you for joining us this evening. This evening is a little different than my normal. I hope you'll stay. Let me tell you, normally you're looking at my mini psychic reading lives that I do. I have a set one scheduled every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Arizona time. That's every week. And I do last minute ones also from time to time during the week. But that is not what this evening is about. I do this live on Thursdays, and it's called Table Talk Thursdays. And hi, Chris. Hello, Jen. Hello, Princess Sophia and Suzette. Okay, so for those of you who are new here, Chris, you're asking, should I pursue more education? As I was saying to Crystal, and I hope you'll stay through this because it's a lot of fun too. This is Table Talk Thursdays. My normal weekly psychic mini reading lives are Wednesdays at 11 a.m. Arizona time, and I also do last minute lives where I do psychic mini readings throughout the week, just wherever it pops up, it pops up. So several things, and I'll encourage every one of you. Some of you know me and have been around and are already liking and following my Elyse Ann Psychic page. But for those of you who are new to me, please go ahead to my and make sure you go to my Elyse Ann Psychic page and follow and like my page, and make sure your notifications are set at, it's either favorites or priority. Mine says favorites. I think some people have a little bit different. I don't know, Facebook, they're always testing things out. But and that way you'll get notifications of whenever I go live. Okay. And tonight's about don't let yesterday take too much, take take too take up too much of today. I seem to be falling over those words. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to say hi to a few more people, and like I said, I hope you'll stay with us, even though you were here for a reading, and then see us again, for a reading when I do those lives. But okay. Hi, Princess Sophia. Happy to be in your house. Oh, or at your table. Yes, awesome. Thank you. And by the way, you guys, you might have heard me yesterday if you were on my live yesterday, but I'm rounding the corner to 1,000 followers. So please, please, please. I'm so close. I think it's 982. Been a little slow the last couple of days, but that's okay. Like I said, the energy's been a little slow, but I'm rounding the corner to 1,000. So please invite your friends to like and follow my Elyse Ann Psychic page. Share this out now. Invite your friends to this. Once I hit 1,000, we're going to have a little bit of a celebratory posting up there. And you guys, I'm going to be doing something a little bit special. So help me reach the 1,000, and then you'll see what I'll have to say about that. So, okay, there's my little commercial for that. I'm hoping before the end of this week. I don't need that many, but I'm hoping I'll hit 1,000. Once I hit 1,000, then we're going to keep pushing it. Another 1,000, another 1,000, keep going, 10,000, and we're just going to keep growing and growing. The more people I can reach out to, the better. The more people I can help. So, okay. Let's see, Cassandra. I think we go into the past because we wish we could change it. Yes. Hi, Savannah. Hello, Cindy Rose. Yes, celebration soon. I know. I'm so excited. I just started my page in July, so I'm really excited about the growth that I've seen with this. I'm excited, really more than anything, to be able to reach out and help people. That's really what it's all about for me. Yes, it's the way I earn a living also, but tonight's one of the ways I give back. You guys get to ask me questions about topics and kind of pick into my brain from my experience and knowledge that I have about all these different topics. And so I do that. And then, there's other ways too. I know I'm getting busier on my psychic reading lives, but I do some free one card readings here and there when as I fit them in during the lives. So this is my way of giving back to all of you for all of your support. So, Princess Sophia, maybe post it on your page to highlight the push and invites to your page. I know I thought about that. It has been kind of a wild couple of days for me. I've been so busy. Yeah, but it's crossed my mind. So that's a good idea. And I was thinking about it, it just hasn't all formulated. I'm in 5 different directions because I'm getting busier, which is great, but I'm also learning a lot of the back stuff. So anyhow, enough of that about that. Let's move into our topic. You guys know I can talk about anything forever. Okay, so we were talking about, let me go back up here. And Mystica was talking about how, taking over your life for 3 years now, almost 3 years now. And lots of times as human beings, and yes, Cassandra, I think we go into the past because we wish we could change it. Absolutely. And that's the thing. Great segue, both of you. See, like I said, there are certain valid reasons, if you will, or situations that we do need to bring things from yesterday to today. Okay. There's some practical things. Absolutely. And then though, let's talk about some of these emotional things. And when we talk about grieving, it's a little bit different, but it's also how fresh do we keep it? Because everything in our life happens for a reason. I'm a full believer of that. I'm a full believer in there's no such thing as mistakes. I don't believe in mistakes. I believe there just is. And I believe that these situations are there for us to learn and grow from. And believe me, I used to ruminate over and over and over and over about past things and over and over. But the thing is, first of all, is it that we want to change it? Could be part of it. Wish we didn't do it, maybe, or say it. Okay, that's a human condition. It's that ugly shadow work nobody wants to do. Well, that's part of it. But I'd like to say, well, I'll address that comment in a minute. Let me keep going here. So, I know, Mystica, I'm so sorry for your loss. The other thing is we sometimes feel as human beings, righting the wrong, changing what we might have done, feeling like, well, why'd they do that to me? And I wish this would happen to them, or what have we, I guess revenge in some ways. These are all human conditions, nothing to be ashamed of. It's part of some of us in more ways than one, and some of us have it more than others. And it's about, though, that it wastes a lot of our time, because there's certain things. First of all, we cannot change what's already been. It is what it is. Okay, it's the same thing when we're manifesting with they kind of run hand in hand. It is what it is. If we could reach our hand back into time and change things, well, yeah. That's how our culture comes up, or our society comes up with some of these sayings like 2020 hindsight. Okay, if we had only known that, then what we know now, right? And with that, though, remember, we only have the tools that we have in the moment in time. Okay. And that's the only place we can react from or act from. Let me see what Princess Sophia says. I think the choices we made back in the past were right at the time. But if we made that decision now, maybe not. We grow. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's just what I was saying. It's about how, we were thinking it kind of at the same time. You're saying it a little differently. But we're where we're at in the moment in time. If you think about the analogy of being in school, and all we've done, and Cassandra, I am going to get to your comment in a minute. Excuse me. If we've gotten as far as addition in school, addition and subtraction, and that's all we were ever taught, we can't be expected to be able to do calculus. Oh God, dear old calculus. Boy, I had a fun time with that. Not anyhow. So if we only had the addition and the subtraction tools, there's no way we don't have the tools to do the calculus. So it may seem simplified, or a simplification of the situation, but I find that helps a lot of people to understand, to have compassion and grace for themselves. Think of all the lessons we've learned. Absolutely. And Zara says, every day is a new day. We only learn and become a stronger individual. That's what makes us a beautiful individual. Absolutely, Zara. Absolutely. And Mystica says, true. I just don't understand why she did this to me, and how I can move on if I can't be at peace for my mom. All right. Well, that is really good too. So let me take, there's a few different things I want to address, but I want to finish where I was at, because I tend to bounce around and then I lose a little bit of track here. So I was talking about, like, the tools that we have in the moment in time. Okay. That's all we know. So how can we expect ourselves to have done something differently? Right now, that's a little bit different than looking back over the situation and saying, okay, what would I have done differently if I had known? Now that I can look back on it, I'm further along in my evolution. I'm further along in life, in my experiences. Now, how can I look at this and learn and grow from it? That is really it. And when we can do that, we don't take up so much time in our present thinking about the past. Now, again, this is a much more intricate and complicated subject to just put in a nice little package in an hour. But this is an overall kind of basic to help you a little bit to kind of start moving through it. Because I have to tell you, I still do slip into it where I think about past experiences, but I don't live in it. I don't mull over it. I don't ruminate and ruminate. I mean, I could ruminate for a very long time. That's who I used to be. And still I'm human. And I even just the other day, there were some things I started thinking about, some old stuff. And I'm like, okay, something got triggered today. So it's making you feel that. And you're thinking about these old experiences. But then I stopped myself and I reminded myself, okay, I'm here today. This is where I'm at today. That's old stuff. It's done. It's over with. How would I approach a situation possibly similar going forward? And that's what it's all about. It's celebrating your growth. And Mystica, you said this is kind of individualized for you, sweetheart. Your statement, why she did it to you, that would be something we could look at in a private session if you'd want to. That's up to you. I mean, my website's ElyseAnnPsychic.com. For any of you, if you're interested in a private one-on-one session for any of this, I'd be more than blessed to walk that journey with you. How can we move on? Okay, some of you have heard me say this before, and I'm a survivor. Okay. And for the longest time, I wasn't at peace. How could I move on? And um, it was very difficult. But Mystica, we can learn to move on. What we can learn to do is take some of the emotion out of it. We may have the pain, it may really hurt. It's not necessarily I'm saying, come on, it's so easy. It's a journey. But if we can understand, this is where some people get a little tricky with it. If we can understand, there's something that I called radical forgiveness. It's actually a book, and I read it many years ago, and it made a world of difference in my life. It's by Colin Tipping. But the way I say it is, there's an earthly way of looking at things, and there's an earthly forgiveness, but there's also a spiritual way of looking at things and having a spiritual forgiveness. What do I mean? That you have to be holier than thou to forgive? No, I'm not saying any of that. What I am saying is if we can start to look at these situations from an understanding of we contracted, we agreed to go through these situations together, then we can understand that no matter how hurtful, let's put it that way, how hurtful the situation was and or is, how hurtful that person's actions are towards us. If we can step back and I understand, I'm not saying it's just so easy because I always acknowledge the human side, but I'm giving you suggestions on how to help yourself. You step back and say, okay, there's a reason. What am I to learn from this? Now, the biggest thing with that, because so many people say, oh, then that means it's just okay. I can just let them off the hook. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is they are playing their part perfectly. Okay. Doesn't mean what they did was okay or that you have to say it's okay or accept, oh, it was okay. I just accept what they did. No, it's not that. It's about detaching from the emotional that's going to be redundant. Attachment. It's letting go of the emotional attachment. And instead of playing the blame game and how dare they and everything else, you can just sit back, breathe, and say, okay, what was I supposed to get out of this? What was I supposed to cull from this? Now, it's easy for me to say because I'm not in the situation, but I have my own situations I've lived through. Like I said, I'm a survivor. And I've come to, I won't say full peace with it. Not yet. I'm human, so that's okay. See, I've learned to really very much give myself grace. I celebrate where I have landed instead of where I haven't landed. And that's a lot of what gets us stuck in the past too. We keep pulling back to the past and then we forget how far we've come. And we forget that those situations were for us to grow and learn from. So today can be a better day than yesterday. And then every day can be a better day and a better day and a better day. But the more we get stuck in the past, it's just bleeding into our present moment, which takes away our ability to create love and joy and peace in our worlds. And by the way, that statement, don't let yesterday take up too much of today's, credited to Will Rogers. I happened to see it, the quote, and I went, wow. Yeah, I like that. So that's what I never know where my ideas or creative motivations will come from. So, okay, let me go back in here to some of these comments here. Sometimes it's behavior we are taught, and the environment is a big favor. Oh, Princess Sophia, of course. Yes, yes. I mean, I talk a lot about that. It is. It's true. It's our foundation. It's the foundation. And the other thing I'm hearing, because those of you who are new to me, while I'm doing this, my spirit team's always with me whenever I do my work, even when I'm not doing my work. But they're always communicating with me. Okay, and I just heard them very clearly say to me, and when they say something to me, it means I'm to say to everyone that and again, this is not excusing. The more we can maybe understand, we're all hurting individuals in one way or another. I mean, that's the truth. We've all had hurts and pains in our lives, right? And when they're unhealed, we're reacting from our pain. So are other people. So if we can at least understand that, when we're in pain, when we're hurting, when we're deeply emotional, we react maybe in a different way or act in a different way or say certain things that maybe we wouldn't have said otherwise. Let's be honest. Okay, we're humans. It's okay. It's okay. We're perfectly imperfect humans. You will hear me say that over and over, right? So it's not again about saying, oh, that's okay. They just did. It's okay. No, it's just about having some grace, compassion, and understanding. Because the more we can step into those places, the more peaceful our life is going to be. What's in the past is in the past. We cannot reach back. We don't have time machines. We cannot reach back. We can only move forward and do something differently. And also not take away our own joy by being stuck in the past. That's what that saying means. If we're stuck in the past in these past situations and that's all we think about and we keep mulling it over and letting it re-hurt us and re-hurt us and hurt us again, we're not living in our present time where we can have those joys. Every moment is a new moment to create, right? I like that. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, so loving our mistakes is what makes everyone special and what we learn and prosper. Yes. And Zara, I don't know, I think you were here in the beginning, but I don't know if you actually heard me say it. I personally, this is for me, I do not believe in mistakes. I just believe in opportunities to learn and grow. I'm huge about that because and this is just my philosophy. I'm not saying you're wrong, Czar. Please understand that. I never say, everybody thinks about these things differently and however it works for them is beautiful and perfect. For me, the way I look at it is there just is. Because if it wasn't meant to happen, it wouldn't have happened. That's kind of the way that's my philosophy. Okay, that I look at things. Because I feel mistakes has a negative word like, oh, you did something wrong. No, you did something perfectly, and so did everybody else to create the situation that you can learn and grow from. See, that's the way I think about it. And that's what also makes it easier for me to let go of the things in the past. But let's be real, sometimes they crop up again. It's okay. It's okay. I don't hold it against myself when that happens. Because again, that just keeps me mired in the past even more. And I'm back in the cycle again. What did I do wrong? Why shouldn't I have done that? Blah, 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 on and on. Okay. So, okay. Cassandra, I realized that if I would have changed one thing in the past, I would not have my 5 beautiful children. Yes. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely. It's like it's a wonderful life. Okay. Life is full of trials and tribulations. I mean, let's be real. We're human. We can't avoid it. That's the reason why we came, incarnated in this lifetime, right? To learn and grow. So if we did everything perfect, we'd be here as an ascended master and only ever choosing if we want to come. But all of us are still learning and growing. And sometimes I know I do it too. I'll look at spirit. I always look up. Okay. And I'll say, really, really, really? I signed up for that one? Really? Yeah. And as tough as it is in the moment, I can look back and say, okay, I know what I'm here to learn this lifetime. And I'm still learning it. And it can be very uncomfortable at times. Yes. That is life. It doesn't mean that we can't create our love and our peace and our tranquility. Many times I'm in that space. But there again, Don't let yesterday take too much up, take too much. I cannot say it every time. Okay, you know what the title is? Do not let yesterday take up too much of today. There we go. I do this every time I mention the title. Okay, gotta laugh at yourself too. It's all about life and fun. So, okay. Again, we're taking away the present moment from ourselves. We're taking away our own joy. And that's really what he's trying to say. In many ways, the ultimate. But let me see here. A lot of us hated school. However, if we go back in time, we would have paid more attention to learning. They were the best days. In some ways, Princess Sophia, yes, that's how I feel. Okay. Cindy Rose, let me see what she says. She's got a nice long one here. I just released with help my hurt, guilt, and shame of my mother's death. It was 24 years ago. I stayed out of living many years. My last year has been earth moving. Today was so much release, like a hydraulic air release. I was not able to do it alone. Well, we have our team. We might have spiritual leaders, whoever it is that helps us move forward, a counselor, whatever it is. Yes, we do not have to walk the journey alone. And it's true. We hold on to some of these things. We hold on to some of these things because we may take it on as our responsibility. There's always these limiting beliefs or these things, the foundation that was built for us. It was built for us and given to us. That's when we're raised, or, we're raised a certain way. And that is our foundation. And until we know to learn something different, that's where we sit. And again, the interaction of people can create all kinds of guilt and stoppage and stuck in the past, concreted in there. And a lot of it is Princess Sophia says the pain and betrayal is for us, not to us. Thank you for sharing that book, Alicia. It changed my mindset. Awesome. I told Princess Sophia about that book at one point. I think I told a few people, or maybe it was in a live. I don't remember, Princess Sophia. Maybe it was just between you and I in a little chat we had. But yeah, it's amazing, right? It's amazing. It's for us, not to us. It's for our own growth, right? And they show up, it's the other book is and I love it. I love it. I love it. And I'm gonna catch up here. I'm a little behind. Somebody says It's a Wonderful Life is my favorite movie. Cassandra. Okay, cool. Um, oh gosh, see, I get distracted. Um, ah, don't remember what I was gonna say. Hold on. I keep saying don't I? For us, not to us. I lost it. Okay, we're gonna move right along. If it's supposed to come back, it will. Hi, Bree. Gosh, it's been a long time. So glad to see you here this evening. Gosh, I've known Bree long, long, long time. So glad you're here, Bree. Welcome. Okay. Princess Sophia, get into a car with my reverse gear is what I'm doing. Well, that's a good visualization, and thank you. They just brought it back. I knew they'd bring it back. What I was going to say. The other book that I love for this, when we're talking about, we can't go back to yesterday. We don't really want to clog up our today with that because we take away our opportunity for manifesting and creating in the present, right? Because we're still stuck in the past. If you notice, we repeat patterns so we can get there. But that book, before I forget it again, is The Little Soul in the Sun. Neil Donald Walsh, I think it is. Yes. I love that book. It's really written for children, but I love it. I think it's awesome. It explains it so well. And it's all about those people that show up in our lives as what we might call the dark angel, but they're not really. They're the people who agreed with you and contracted with you before we incarnated. Okay, I told you I'm a survivor. I know that person and I contracted. It doesn't mean on the earthly plane I'm just like, okay. No. But I also know, and this is the beauty of it, I also know that every experience I've had, gosh, I'm going to get emotional. I didn't think that was coming, brought me to where I am today and made me who I am today. And I can't, I'm going to put it this way. I love what I got out of it. Not that it happened. I love what I got out of it because I believe that I have a very loving and compassionate heart. And I know that those experiences that I had is what created that for me. even stronger, is as strong as it is, because I understand the hurt and the pain and being a survivor and all that that goes with it. So, that's another way. It took a long time for me to get here, but that's another reason why I don't let yesterday take up too much of today. Because I have to tell you, as I've healed and moved through that, I'm so much happier. And I'm so much more able to really face life and not get so thrown off at times. Okay. So, okay, Maria Henderson, I totally agree. Cindy Rose, sometimes we are sometimes unawares how so deep it is. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Well, some of you that have worked with me, um yeah, Cassandra, it is sacred contracts, absolutely. And yes, it is true. Okay, there are mistakes, there are no mistakes, there are choices, erase, delete. Okay, you can heal your life is an amazing audio. Yes, Princess Sophia. Louise Hay, you can heal your life. That's another book that I read along the way. And it's how we think about ourselves, how we were conditioned and programmed. See, all that bleeds into today, where it's like a trail, almost like a chemtrail. All of those things that we were fed that were not healthy for us, fed. Okay, the thoughts, the words, the way we were treated, the way we translated what was done to us. This is what creates what happens for us today, and that's part of why letting go of yesterday as much as possible and not bringing it to today. Absolutely, absolutely. Let me see here, because I know sometimes Facebook misses like comments don't show up. That'll show up, not show up on Facebook, but show up on my iPad, on my tablet. It gets a little wild. Um, and so, yeah, the Louise Hay is beautiful. That's a whole nother ball game, and maybe that actually brings me to an idea of another topic down the road. So thank you for that. So what do we feed ourselves? What do we feed ourselves? Do we want yesterday's garbage? Do we want yesterday? Well, I do eat leftovers, so that's okay. But I mean, week old leftovers, year old leftovers, no, gross, right? But in many ways, that's what we do to ourselves. We keep pulling all that trash forward, and it pollutes our today, right? Excuse me a minute. I was really thirsty, tired. Well, it's been a long day, but mm, thank you. Princess Sophia is a chain that needs to be broken for the next generation. Yes, there's such a thing as generational legacy. Hmm. And I have become aware of that, my own experience with being a survivor. Yes. And how do we, there are different ways we can learn how to forgive others. It doesn't mean that what they did was okay, but we detach from the emotions of it. All right. So let me see here. Cord cutting is so helpful. Yes, Cassandra. Oh, and there's the shadow work, ugly shadow work. Oh, I want to go back to that. But this is the thing about cord cutting that has come to me, and I really like to advocate. It's funny how people say cord cutting, but to me, unless we're sure that we get rid of both sides of the cord, it's still part of the cord's hanging there. So I like to envision unplugging, like literally, like unplugging a plug out of the wall and then sending it all to the universe. So just make sure when you cut cords, I know a lot of people use that terminology, but when we cut cords, that's fine. We just have to make sure we take both sides of that cord that's been cut and send it back to the white light in the universe. Just want to bring that up because that is really my spirit team has brought that up to me. Oh, I don't know, sometime in the past year or so, that part is so important. Because our words and our thoughts and our actions all have vibration. So we want to make sure it's completely cleared. I want to go back to the comment about the ugly shadow work. And shadow work is looking, it's the dark side or the not so fun and the negative side or whatever, all these things that have occurred. And in many ways, I'd like to add to that, send it away with love. Absolutely, Cassandra. And the white light of the universe will transmute it. That's why I always say white light of the universe, but always with love. Absolutely. Great. Thank you, Cassandra. Um, ugly shadow work. Let's talk about that. Um, I think I know what you mean by ugly. I think it's beautiful. but the ugly is how difficult it can be, I think is what you're saying. So I just want to add my little 2 cents in there on that. I hope it's okay with you, Cassandra, because I think what you really meant was it is difficult. It's getting in there deep. hmm hmm But the way through the tunnel is through the work of it all. There is no magic bullet. There are, the other thing that I'm being told right now is to remember, we're all worthy. We're all worthy. No matter what we were told, how we were treated, what we were called, how we were criticized, that was actually on them, not you. That was through their own filters and their own perception or perspective. Doesn't mean it's the truth. So again, all that sits in the past. It's all yesterdays. It's all the yesterdays that we constantly are dragging with us. Could you imagine if from the moment we were born, we were only told positive things? You're so beautiful, you're so worthy, you're so valued, whatever it is. And when I say beautiful, I don't mean looks, I mean, the soul, the soul. And maybe you are beautiful with looks too, but I'm talking the deep stuff. It's deep and painful. Yes, it is, Cassandra. Absolutely, Bree. Yes, we are all worthy. It's just that society just is so negative. So if we can break from our yesterdays and all the junk we were fed, again, are we creating? See, when we bring yesterday into today and we let it take up too much time, yes, Cassandra, it's all the words we hear that echo for years. Absolutely. I'm right there with you. Um, so as I was saying, if we could, I think this is what I was saying, if we could, instead of creating today from, we're here now. So do we create in a space of what we envision and what we would like? Or are we gonna, it's kind of like cleaning house, dirty house or clean house. Okay. Um, Creating from a space of all that hurt and pain just keeps dragging it further and further with us because we might believe we don't deserve it. Okay. And that's what unfortunately yesterdays do. And again, it's about we can't change the past. We can only say, okay, and I don't mean okay, it's all right what happened. No, but okay, that is my past. Again, I'm going back to where I started. It is what it is. Can't change that part. We can only change ourselves, how we view it, how we react. Clean your closets. Absolutely. I like that. Any skeletons? Okay. And Cindy Rose says, it's so worth the release to our bliss. Absolutely. 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 See, when we hold on, we see a lot of us, okay, they're bringing it up again. So I'll say, a lot of us, and I'm not saying everybody's like this, but a lot of us, because maybe it was toxic environment, or we weren't necessarily given a good foundation to launch from. Um, Hold on, you can tell I'm tired because I'm starting to lose my thoughts here. Hold on. Oh dear, dear, dear. Okay. Um, what do I again? Because I said three things at once. Okay. So if we have this foundation that's not healthy for us, this is from where okay, there we go. I knew they'd bring it back to me as I started talking. Imagine if we had all been validated from the time we were born. Like I was saying before, you're worthy, you're beautiful inside and out, you're, perfect, you're all of that. Could you imagine manifesting from that space? How deserving and worthy we would all feel? So there too. Do we let the past and everybody else's perspective and what they told us we supposedly were versus what we truly were and are? Could you imagine what we can create and manifest? Now, let's be real. We are human. We're not going to necessarily do everything the way we would have liked to, okay? And we all have those human side of things where, our words or thoughts sometimes will slip in that are not so positive. It can be very difficult. The energy around us is harsh, just in general. I'm not, always has been, because society is very negative, and we're raised in a very negative society. It's all about what you aren't, not what you are. It's all about what you don't have, not what you have. Okay, all you have to do is watch commercials on TV, and wow, we're all very deficient, I suppose. Um, just kidding. But if we could let go of all of that junk that we were spoon fed, it'd be so different. And again, this piece of, people have done certain things to us, it can be very hard to move through it because we're looking for validation. See, we want to be validated when we're not validated. And that again is what society does. Society is not set up to validate us. That's not how society's set up. It's set up in the exact opposite. So this is something we have to do for ourselves. So we can't necessarily, okay, I'm going to say it this way, even though it's not really my saying, some people would think of it this way. We can't necessarily right the wrongs from the past today. We can't change it. That's the same thing as we can't change it. I don't believe in right and wrong exactly. Um, but would we have grown? Would we have growth? Exactly. Exactly, Cassandra. No, I mean, hopefully we're all spiritually evolving to um uh be fully evolved, and we can all live in nirvana, or utopia, however you want to call it. I dream of those days. Don't know if it's going to be in this lifetime. I think we're going to get there some, but we'll see. And no, that's true. That's why we're here, because it's about the growth. It's about overcoming. It's about not being stuck in yesterday. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? You know that woulda, coulda, shoulda doesn't matter. You didn't, so it just is, right? So, all right. Let me see if Spirit wants to say anything else. Anybody else have any comments or questions that they want to ask or say before I start wrapping it up here? Let's see. I thought I saw something come by. Nope. Anybody? Anybody? Somebody? Anybody? 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 I feel like I'm at an auction. Anybody? That's not what they say, but all right. All right. So let me see how Spirit would like me to wrap it up. I know we're a little early today. Hi, Lucia. Welcome, sweetie. I'm so glad you're here. Well, this evening, actually, sweetheart, is called Table Talk Thursdays. It's my mini psychic card reading lives is on Wednesdays. It's at 11 a.m. Arizona time. That's weekly. And then I do last minute lives, Lucia, also, where I pop in and I'll do card readings. So go ahead and follow and like my Elyse Ann Psychic page, and make sure your notifications are set, your notification settings are set at favorites or all, something like that. On mine it says favorites, and that way you'll get notifications of when I go live. We are wrapping up, but I welcome you to stay for the last 10 minutes or so. Here we're kind of gonna wrap up. We were talking about don't let yesterday take up too much of today. I got it right, you guys, on the first try. Okay, let me see here. Bree, you know me for some time. Oh, yes. Do you realize how long, Bree? A very long time. It has taken a long time to be able to move forward. What you are saying is completely true. We have to leave behind all the clutter. It's definitely a work in progress. Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm still working on it too. We all are. Thanks. Oh, Lucia. Oh, that's okay, honey. There's no reason to be sorry, sweetheart. It happens every week. It's okay. I'm just so glad you found me and you're here. And I hope I'll see you on another live, either for Psychic Mini Reading, Table Talk Thursdays again. I also, please, on my page, you guys, make sure, like I said, your notifications. I post channeled card messages on Monday and Friday. I post all kinds of things. So Okay, let me see here. Yeah, Bree, I think it's been about 15 years, maybe even longer. 16 years. Bree's been a client of mine for a very, very long time. I adore her. I adore every one of you. Bree and I go way back. Okay, so Mystica, you're so welcome, sweetheart. I'm so glad you were here. Just be kind to yourself. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Grace and compassion, you guys. We're all, we're all just trying to get through life. We're all just trying to get through life the same way everybody else is. Okay? So, Czar, hearing your voice is a blessing. Oh, sweetie, thank you so much. That's so kind. Hello, Joel. I didn't get a hi, darling. Joel. Joel. By the way, you guys, Joel, he's a fantastic psychic. Excuse me, intuitive. Sorry, Joel. He does great card readings. Joel and I are teaming up. We're going to do some tag team reads, lives. We're probably going to have kind of a tester sometime this tomorrow, I think, maybe, if it works out, just to make sure we've got all the tech stuff figured out. But on Sunday we're planning on doing a live off of my page, launching off of my page, 4 o'clock Arizona time, and looking forward to it. Joel, check out his page, Intuitive Inspirations. Like his page, follow his page. He's great. He's great. Joel and I found each other. I don't know. Actually he found me through my lives, and yeah, he's done a couple readings for me, and yeah, he's good. So there you go, Joel. Thank you. All right. He said, hi, darling. Elyse Ann. We razz each other. That's what we do. It's all part of the fun. So, everyone, I just want to say thank you so much for being part of the live this evening. Let me know if there's any topic at all that you would like me to cover. I'm here for you. These are things that I know and I've experienced, and this is my way of giving back to share it with all of you. So please, I ask every week. I don't get a lot of people saying anything to me. I want to know what you want to know. Tell me what you want to learn about, because these are things I already know. So I'm here for you. If you feel, hopefully I'll see you on any of my other live psychic mini readings. Let's get together and do a private one-on-one session. I'm also a healer. I do space, I do all kinds of stuff. Also, let me let you know. Sign up. Go to my website, ElyseAnnPsychic.com, and on the homepage, you can sign up for my email list. And what I am doing now is my email list exclusively receives a 3-card monthly channeled message every month. That is just for my email list. And then also you'll be one of the first to know about any projects, events, promotions, whatever's going on, you'll be the first to know also. So please go ahead, check out my website. You'll also learn more about me and how I came to be in doing this, and a little bit more about who I am. So let me see here. Natalie asked, okay. How do we know we learned the lesson from our past? And how do we know which lessons you learned? Oh, wow, that's a big one. Hi, Will. I'm so glad you made it too. I'm sorry you're late. That's okay that you're late. Hi, Paula. You know what, Will? This is going to be posted on my page. I am wrapping up, but stay for the last few minutes, please. I'm so glad you're here. And you can do the replay. It'll be posted on my page, Elyse Ann Psychic page. And I'd love for you to just, replay. Put that in the comments too if you do replay. I just like to know. Let's see. Natalie, how do we know we learned what? Okay, that's a whole nother topic, but let me see if I can squeeze it in really quick. Overall, it's when we don't react the same, when it doesn't have as deep of an impact. That tells us that's a sign that we're moving through it. Okay. The other sign, or how do we know, is do we keep getting faced with the same patterns from other people and behaviors from other people? Because when that happens, we know, ooh, there's still some more to look at, isn't there? And let me tell you, that will never stop because that's what life is about in many ways. It's about the healing. As much as we move through it, it's well worth it. But that's Spirit's way of saying, okay, they thought they were through it. They thought they healed it all. Let's send them a little test. Wink, wink. Let's send them a little test. And if you find that you react a little bit in the same way, or there's some sort of trigger, then you'll know. Oh, there's a little bit more to dig into. Um, what lesson to learn? Well, that's a big question, and that usually is on a one-on-one basis. Lots of times we have some of the same themes as human beings, but usually that is, again, I think looking at what you have um, experienced. That is a good way of figuring that piece out. That's a very generic answer. I know that, but because I'm trying not to go too deep into it because we only have a few more minutes to be the honest truth. And maybe there's a way I can incorporate that as a topic in one of my lives. So let me know if you're interested in that. Okay, so happy birthday month, Will. Okay, happy birthday month, Will. So glad you're here. Okay, everyone. So, wow, we're going right to the hour again. I thought we were going to end a little early, but that's okay. I'm so glad that everybody said hi and they're here. And to everyone that is here, I'm so glad you're on this journey with me. You fill my heart and my soul with such joy and love. I love every second of it. And I just appreciate every single one of you. And again, I am almost at 1,000 followers. So please, please, please follow and like my page, my Elyse Ann Psychic page. Invite your friends because as soon as I hit 1,000, I'm going to have a post, a celebratory post. We're all going to celebrate. So it'd be great. I just love it. Again, thank you, each and every one of you. I'm so blessed by every one of you. Have a great rest of your evening, morning, or afternoon, depending upon where you are in the world. And I hope to see you again very soon. Thank you.